Okay, guys, so welcome to the session today. Just gone 9:30. So for those on the DTB system, you've had some really good training and tools provided. Have a look at the website. There's a lot of information there, not quite as updated as if you were in one of our Facebook groups or in our watching the YouTube channel. There's a few videos that I have to update, especially now that we've had some cool little updates to the system, but those will keep coming anyway. Risk disclosures for trading. So read that. I'm going to put a link in the video as well, so they will be there. Okay, so let me see what we have done. Okay, so this is a strategy. I did some optimizations earlier and I applied settings. Now, I did not spend, unfortunately, I didn't spend enough time really running through everything. So I've got a setting here, which is a 12-12 bar and a 20-22 bar. So 22-22 bar. So I'll look at the optimizations in a sec. Just give me a moment. Right, so with the optimizations, I will look at the 12-12 bar first. Let's see. So I think we might even do some optimizations on the session too, just to see, because I literally only had a few minutes before to get this in. Where are you? There. Okay. So I ran this optimization, and what I was looking for results for a Tuesday. So because we're optimizing a larger period of time, I've selected the optimizations for the repaints as true, true, false, and false. I've used a 12-12 bar size. And I've used a 1-20 setting A and a 1-40 setting B. And on this one here, I've also introduced a tick delay. So a tick delay basically means that it's basically a bar delay. So when you put in a value in the tick delay, I'm actually going to be renaming this to bar delay because it will be much easier to understand on a bar delay. But what that basically does is it will enter a signal after a confirmed bar has broken above. So as an example over here, the signal, like this is a buy signal over here. Is that showing right? Let me just have a look. Let me look at a previous one and just see how that is painting. Sometimes the analyzer and the chart is not 100%, doesn't show it absolutely perfectly, or it doesn't use the slippage very well. But that's probably it there. So it's going to have a bar above, and then it's going to be on the next candle. So on this one over here, it's a bar down and then a signal on the next candle. So that is how the tick delay works. And I'm not sure why it wasn't showing perfectly there. I wonder if that's a little glitch on the analyzer. Anyway, I'll look into that further. Ah, come on. Let's just see. So basically, that's how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be a signal. So it's supposed to give a signal, but it should only enter on the following bar. So what that helps with is it helps with the price zigzagging around a brick wall. So the larger that tick delay, the later those trades will enter. So if you had like this is a 12, so it'll be the bar. So it has to have a confirm. So you never count the first bar. So the first bar is the signal, okay? So that's a 0 tick delay. And because it's a 12 tick delay, what happens is it's going to enter the entry on the next bar. So that's why it's skipping one bar. If I had a 24 tick delay, it will only enter on this bar. And 36, it's only going to enter on this bar. So that's how the tick delay works. And the cool thing about this too is you can optimize for reverse. So I've got trading type trend, but very often you can get a reverse setup where you could have a brick wall paint, you know, something. I'm just going to give an example of an area where there's lots of zigzagging. Let's look at that. So you can have a situation where a brick wall can paint like this, and because of your tick delay, you're going to have. How do I draw an arrow? Let me just see. Arrow. What's the shortcut for the arrow? Let me see. Arrow quickly. I don't want to keep going to it. Arrow, Alt and E. Alt and E. Okay. So if you have a zigzag, what's going to happen is you're going to have a reverse trade over there, a reverse trade over there. Come on, Alt and E. So you'll have a buy over there, and then if it's a closer, we'll work on it a little bit closer. Let's work on it a little bit closer quickly first. So a reverse trade, a reverse trade, a reverse trade, and a reverse trade, and another reverse trade. So that's what the analyzer is going to look for over the period that you're optimizing. It's going to look for reverse opportunities in that range. And while your tick delay, you can be able to pick up those entries. Okay, so besides that, let's have a look at what the strategy's been doing since we looked away. Okay, so I activated this just on 9 o'clock, and these are the trades that it's been actioning. So I did optimization on a 22.22, so that is the optimization I did earlier, and this is the optimization results for that. So I did a 22.22 optimization. I still used the 22nd to the 29th, so I used the day after today. Sometimes you need to just put a day after the trading day. Sometimes the end of the week will work. So you can use either, probably just work with, you know, a day after the actual trading day. So I used those settings, and I found one that worked the best for that specific day. So that's why currently we've had some good trades so far in this. So price is reversing a little bit. There we've got a buy signal. So the last trade was a bit of a flat signal. So, you know, I've got that. And then I've also got the indicator underneath it, which is my shadow trading, which I can use for reversing. If I want to do reverse positions, or I want to pause a strategy or whatever, I can do that. So I've got my tabs next to the price, looking at, having a window next to it where I can look at the indicator, and then I've got the trading chart over there. All right, so yeah, not too bad on the session so far, and we'll just monitor what happens. So still quite early in the session. We've only been the first trades only really started at 9:30. So we had quite a few trades though so far. And that's because we are using a smaller bar size on here. So we'll monitor.
Jason,
yes.
I optimized an 1818 bar, which I sell away at about 25 past. And it's into its third trade now, and it basically did about $1,100 in about 6 minutes.
Wow. Wow. That's it. That's incredible. That's super incredible. So it just shows you now that bar size, that 1818, is probably perfectly in tune with the market right now. You know, it's just like the perfect size. So there we go. Yeah, and you're going to have that. You're going to have sessions where you have a perfect bar size, and it's just going to run beautifully, and then go from there. So right now, I mean, the 1212 isn't looking absolutely crash hot. You know, we had some positions run beautifully. So we had this one, a bit of a switch around over there, then a nice long sell, a bit of a switch around, then a flat position there, a losing one, and then this one will go down anyway because the next Fibonacci level is below. So more than likely going to drop on here. But yeah, like the 2222 chart, this is its first trade. So this is its first trade that it's entered into. So, I mean, you know, that's the cool thing about optimizing is you can find the best bar sizes and you can, you know, run with them. So there we go. So there we go. I thought it was going to go down. That's just because that next Fibonacci, there was nothing stopping it, you see. In this area over here, in this area, there was nothing really stopping the price dropping, you know, until this Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci is still a way off, so we'll see what happens around here. Yeah. But again, not bad. You know, we've already, you know, it's already done extremely well, the strategies, and we literally only got started, so it's not bad. And haven't entered any manual position. This has all just been automated. So we're coming to the 23.6 at the bottom here of the 4-hour chart. So we'll see what the price does around this area. We'll more than likely see a switch of signal if this price drops below. So if this price drops below over here, we will see a switch around of the signal. But it looks like it's going up a little bit from here. May even just be coming up to retest this brick wall over here and then drop down again. See, now the 22 is doing very well. So I suppose that's another thing you can also look at. You can have your strategies running and then just seeing which ones are giving you where the brick walls are. You can decide to pause a strategy here and there. But this definitely looked like it was just coming back up to retest this brick wall and then drop down again. So, I mean, it's obviously a little bit tricky to know exactly for sure. This could also just be a very temporary support area that it had over there. And then this chart on top showed us the bounce of that brick wall. But because there's no strong Fibonacci levels right where the price is now, it's a bit difficult to judge. You know, it's a bit unlike on top where the price was at the 76.4. It gave us a very clear indication of, you know, that brick wall and the Fibonacci levels. So there we go. It's switched over. Now we are coming to the 23.6. So, you know, if I was trading this, let me just see. I would be, the other day we paused the strategy when the price came to a fib level. I'm not going to do that this time unless I'm getting a very strong idea over here that we're going to have a reversal. So I'm just looking at my shadow trading. We do have divergences over here. We do have those divergences. The momentum line is quite close to the price though. So I'm not going to be, I actually might just increase the size of this just to see what that's looking like. So the momentum line is not very far from the price. So generally what happens is when the momentum line is far from the price, it's going to pull that price up. But this could just be dropping a few more times. And as you can see, the momentum line is staying very close to the price. So that's why I wasn't like, you know, too excited about selling that or closing that position yet, even though you're getting those divergences. But now we're at the 23.6. Okay, now we're at that 23.6. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the price does around here. Yeah, it did struggle here before. So if you look previously on the chart, we had some red bars and it actually failed at that 23.6 earlier and even came and retested it before. So it's probably a higher chance of it bouncing off this and going up than it actually breaking through. So we'll also check what's below. Actually, you know what? There's very little beneath the price. Look, there's no strong Fibonacci's below the 23.6. There's hardly anything below here, only a low of the day. So this is going to go through. Look, it's going to go through. So I would probably trade this to to the 23.6, which is the next strong Fibonacci level in place. So there we go. That did break through, and it's smashing through because there's literally nothing in its way. There's literally nothing in its way over there. So there we go. Some beautiful trades on the strategies today. This is probably going to come back and retest the 23.6. It may even just play around there, just to come and retest it. But I doubt it's going to be breaking above. They probably just want to take out some stops before they push the price further down. That's generally what they do with Fibonacci levels. They'll smash the price through, come back up, take out some stops, bounce the price off that fib level or very close to it, and then continue pushing it down. Although they have kind of a broken, well, not broken above, but gone slightly above. But yeah, more than likely they bounced down, which looks like it's happening. So again, a beautiful little scalping opportunity. If you were looking for entries, those are the entries that are the best, especially when the price breaks right through a strong level, comes back up to it again. Those are the trades that have got the highest probability because they're just coming back to take out some stops. That's all they're basically doing. They know they're going to pull this price down. And in fact, the shadow trading is also going to give you a good idea of what the price is doing. Look at that momentum line facing down. So there we come back to the low of the day. So very close to that. Bring this one up a little bit higher. So that's what the chart looks like, and it looks pretty good. You know, the support and resistance have definitely held their own. I'm very excited about this huge gap below the price. And there's also a gap above the 23. So don't be mistaken. If they do consolidate above the 23.6, there's a huge gap for the price to go up. But if they stay below this 23.6, the very next bit of resistance they have is this one over here. Again, they're coming to test that 23.6 again. So remember that 23.6 level is going to be the weekly Fibonacci level. So weekly Fibonacci. So that is that level over there. Good. How are you guys going with your strategies?
$18.18 isn't so hot now. Pause it and running some optimizations.
Cool. Good.
Yeah, I just optimized mine at 9:45, so I'm waiting for the first entry.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there, you know, that price again at the 23.6, and look how it's like, it's literally just came and kissed it. It'll be interesting to see what the shadow trading is telling us. So now we're getting a little bit of a gap between the momentum line and the price. I'll just see how much of a gap that really is. But again, you know, we still have the sellers in control of the price. So as the bars are gold, we know the sellers are in control of that price. When we start seeing divergences over here and that momentum line really going up, then we know that this trend is over. But at the moment, this trend is showing sellers are in control. Sellers are in control. And that's very evident in that. So that's on the 12-12 chart. And if you look at the 16, what is this, 22-22 chart, we are seeing a similar thing over there. Yes, okay, now we've got a double divergence. See, we've got a double divergence underneath, but we still got this momentum line right, down low, and it's still lower than it was before. So I wouldn't say that this is completely exhausted yet. We're probably going to see this drop a bit unless we get a lot more divergences over here and this momentum line really starts swinging to a different direction. But as far as this is looking right now, it still looks like this price is going to be dropping. It all depends how much the price floats around this area and what this momentum line does. See a little bit of a change in direction over there. Bar by bar, that's going to stay in place. So wherever that bar closes, and the momentum line was when that bar closed, it's going to stay there. That's why you're going to see lots of these little zigzags in the momentum line, because that's exactly where the price, or where the momentum line was when that bar closed. Notice there how on this bar and the next bar, that momentum line stayed facing down. So that's pretty nice to see. So still haven't got a major, we still got the sellers in control of the price. You see the bars are gold, the sellers are in control, and you'll be silly to take a long position here unless you had a very small stop. There's your next divergence. Okay, so there we've had another divergence, momentum line starting to switch directions. We've had this connected with a few more arrows in play now, you see? So when you start seeing that, and the buyers take over price, so the buyers are starting to take over. But because we've got a strong level over here, this 23.6, I will still be keen to keep in that position because we want to see what's actually going to be happening with this. So that's why this indicator just gives you some really incredible visualization of what the price is doing, who's in control. So now there's definitely a battle between the buyers and the sellers. So as the bar is green, the buyers were in control, green, gold, it's on that cusp. You see how it says -1. So when it's over 1, the buyers are going to be in control. When it's below 0, like -0.01, it's going to be gold. But as soon as that goes to green, the buyers are going to be a little bit more in charge. So we've definitely got a bit of a swing up in this momentum line at the moment. So we can pay attention to that on the 12-12, also getting a bit of a hint that that's going to be coming up. So on these strategies right now, let's go back to the strategy itself. Come on. On these strategies right now, I would probably be pausing that. So just pausing it over there. Pausing it over there. So that was a beautiful run. So if you were trading this live today and you just had those two running, the one strategy made 1,200 and the one made 470. So the one that made 470 had a few losing positions to begin with, but it basically just ended on that. So that was, that is the power of these things, just being able to look at some of the indicators that are with it. Now, as you can see, that price shot up quite considerably. So looking at the 22.22, I just got to move this again. You see how the momentum line, come on. That momentum line definitely shifted position. You see we had that battle of the buyers and sellers. So we had a strong move down and then a bit of a battle with the buyers and sellers. And then over here is where that point was. So that's where I paused the strategy when those bars were turning, their colors. And then immediately what happened, that the price reversed up. But now we get a you know, we've got the opposite direction now, you see, where we've got the divergence arrows facing in the opposite direction. So just showing us that there's more likely a bounce, and there was another bounce of that 23.6. So you can also go and reactivate or go start the strategies again. And what will happen is the strategy will act on the next signal that comes up. Might not be another signal for a while. You know, this might continue down for a much longer period. So that's basically what it's presented. So so it definitely takes a little bit of, you know, overthinking when you are not overthinking. It takes it out of the equation, you know, trying to decide where you want to enter, where you want to put your stops and your targets, just by letting the strategy make decisions, entering at the best optimized location, and then pausing the strategy when you see there's definitely either a halt in price, so where the price is really struggling to make a direction, and that just seemed around this 23. So, you know, rather capture that, especially if you you know, have reached your goal for the session, then that's it. You're basically done. You're done for the day. So more than likely why that price struggled down here is because it made a new low for the day. So it made a new low, broke through the 23.6, played around a little bit there, didn't have any more strength to drop down for this very moment. So now it's gone above the 23.6, but coming towards a brick wall. So this could be a point where there could be another signal for the price to go up. The last thing we want, though, is a little bit of zigzagging. So the last thing we want is for the price to start zigzagging around a brick wall like this, because that's when you'll get some trades that'll be, you know, losing. But very often it can break through, get a signal going up, come back and retest that brick wall, just like it did here, but instead of breaking through again, go up. So that is that one. Looking at this, definitely showing an overbought type of situation over there. Momentum line is above price. So, you know, as we saw earlier, we stopped that strategy at the perfect time because it was definitely showing that this signal. So these are the signals that the shadow trading gives you. It's going to give you in real time. This is what it looked like. It was looking like this. Momentum line facing down, showing up a little bit, failing at the 23, showing down, like that's how it was showing for us too, in real time. And then facing up, momentum line starting to get a little bit higher up in price. And it was at that stage where I thought, okay, well, this is where this is going to be going up, just because we've had this type of thing happen, multiple divergences, and that over here. So again, immediately what happened, bam, it shot up. Buyers in control. So if you're not out of the position by here, you've got this momentum line facing up, which is telling you the buyers are definitely in control of the price. The bars are green anyway. Yes, the 23.6 is here, but this momentum line has even reached a new high on the chart if you're looking at the previous height. So even though the price is lower than it was before, the momentum line is higher. And we know that this momentum line is like a magnet for the price. And then what happened, it dropped a little bit, but it's still staying very high. And ideally, bam, sucked it right up.
Jason, can I just ask what time frame you ran your optimization from for those settings? Because mine are, I ran the 2022 bar, which is good, but my numbers are way away from yours. Mine's like 4 and 23.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I ran the optimization from the, let me just see. Is this the 22? Yeah, okay, this is the 22 over here. So I ran the data from the 22nd of August to the 29th of September. And I used setting A 1 to 20. I just increased that a little bit. So setting A 1 to 20, setting B 1 to 40. And the only other thing that I changed, the only other thing is true, true, false, false. Everything else is the same.
No, that's fine. I realize where it's different. You've gone for days. I've literally just done it from the last 2-3 hours. That's why.
Yeah, that'll happen too. So, if you want to optimize the very, very latest data, you're going to get totally different settings because it's only taking into consideration today's data. If you're looking at today's date. So, say for example, I wanted to only see today's date. I would go from today to tomorrow. Today to basically today. So it's only going to show me the data for the 28th. So looking at the data for the 28th, looking at the chart, this is what it's showing me for today's trades. That's if I was only analyzing today's data. Now, obviously, when you run this optimization, the results show very good here, but that is taking into consideration that these first two trades here, which you probably wouldn't have even known about because you're running the optimization afterwards. So if you were running your optimization at 9:45 like this, and you applied these settings, you're actually going to have like a flat position and a small losing position at the moment. So that's why it's not always beneficial to do that, but you can cycle through these results and just see what the trades are looking like. So this one looks a bit better now, you see. So you can see the zigzagging of the trade. So you might want to go for a setting like this because you're getting, a nice run, a small switch over, a nice run, a switch over, a switch over. You're actually getting the price trend nicely. And to even go further, you'll probably find that the reverse trading, if you click on reverse and trend at the same time, you're probably going to find some really good results here for reverse, just because there's been a lot more zigzagging and stuff. There we go. So the top results are actually reverse results. All the top results are reverse results. 87% accuracy, because the price has been bouncing around. It's created these brick walls in areas where it would have been successful. So that's why, never discount reverse settings. Never discount that. Let's have a look at what the strategy is doing. Oh, okay. So we've had another position, two positions actually. So we had a small losing position for a signal up, and then a switch over there. So a bit of a running there, and then into this position here. Price came and made a new low over here. I still think it's going to come to this 23.6 because that's the next strong Fibonacci level below. There's nothing to stop the price from going to at least that. Then the next, this is a bit further down, the 14.8330s range. I mean, there's a few more levels over here. But the price kind of has free range in this area at the moment. There's nothing stopping it going up and nothing stopping it coming down. It can literally go anyway. So wherever they want to push it, that's what they're going to do. Sometimes they, come back up and retest this brick wall. Hopefully that's just what they're going to do there. So it'll stay in that sell position. So when you got a setting optimized very nicely, these brick walls are going to paint those support and resistance areas, and they're going to be pretty accurate. They're going to be pretty accurate. And even if you go back on the chart and you look at those areas where they are hit, it's not going to show there because that wasn't just different days looking at the chart. You're going to see that. So when these brick walls come up and there's a sell signal and the price comes back up near it, good chances there to sell that price down. Again, kind of in no man's land right now because we are between two strong Fibonacci levels. So we're probably going to just get a bit of stuffing around at this moment.
It's tug of war. Mine's in a buy position, yours in a sell.
All right. Well, there we go. And then look at your indicator, right? Look at this. Go look at this. So whatever chart you're trading on, look at your indicator. And if it's telling you, you should be in a buy or a sell, this is going to give you some. So there, back over here was again, there's your buy signal. I mean, look at that, was absolutely incredibly powerful. This buy signal over here, you see, look at that. Look at this momentum line. Look at the support and resistance area over here, momentum line facing up. That is a very, very clear buy signal. The momentum line, notice how the momentum line stayed up while this price actually dipped down. And look at that. That is your power signal. I mean, look at that, it sucked that price up. And then we got a overbought type of a thing over there. So it gave us an arrow down. Momentum line shift direction. So it started facing downwards. So out of that position, now the sellers are back in control. Sellers are in control. Sellers are in control. Momentum line dropping. Sellers are in control. We're right by the 23.6. So this at this area here, purely because of the multiple divergences over here, I would probably look at, I would be looking at this stage, depending on what this momentum line does, to be pausing the strategy, especially now that we're right by this 23.6. But this, I mean, this is still not giving us a very powerful buy signal yet because the bars are still all gold. The sellers are still in control of the price, at least by the look of it. We've got this divergence over here. So yeah, this is where you got to look at that and decide what you want to do. I still see this momentum line very flat at this stage, so it looks like it's still going to go down. Oh, more divergences. Okay, so when I see more divergences like that, I'm definitely out of that position. So this is where I can pause and capture that move. And then what's happened is we've gone up from that 400 position to $700. So that's increased nicely, that one. So not taking too much risk in the positions. You're exiting when you are seeing more evidence of what is going on the chart. Yeah, still dropping there. You can wait until you see some gold bars, but often that could be 3, 4, 5 bars up. Again, it's also not about being too greedy. You don't want to be always getting the absolute most out of it. Take what you can, work with these signals, and look how this indicator is always going to be giving you at the current point what is the best signal. And the institutions and banks, they're going to, if they want to turn over that price, they're going to do it very, very quickly, and they're probably going to catch a lot of people out when they do that. So that's why people have trailing stops. They get wiped out of the market very quickly because they'll quickly fling the price around to take you out, probably drop the price down again. But there we go. So you see where I paused the strategy over there? I paused it over here. Okay, yes, the price did go down a few more bars. It just at that time, it seemed like that was going to happen, that the price was going to go up. But I should have also looked at the momentum line, which you should always pay very close attention to, is that momentum line. So that's basically when I paused the strategy, when I saw that facing right up. So you can do that, but also, if you want to use the tools more effectively, watch that momentum line. So there, it's definitely swinging up. You see how it's swinging up, but the bars are staying flat. That is sucking that price up. Look at that. So there we go. You see how the buyers are now are going to start taking over. There we go. Look at this momentum line, how it's facing up. That's going to suck this price up. That's just what this does. So this, again, that's the perfect signal for shadow trading. Buyers are in control of the price now. There you've gone up 12, 24 ticks. Momentum line is facing right up. This is going to suck this price up. The only thing that'll stop it from flying up is an arrow over here saying, there's a chance this price is going to come down. And obviously your angle of your momentum line. So sellers a little bit in control there. We've come to the support area of the shadow trading. So remember, I've put in these fields are now available in the shadow trading. So they are the support area. There, but we've had the sellers take over again. So we're not always going to see these arrows. I would have expected an arrow there. The price may not have quite gone up as high as what it would have to generate that. So probably still shaping up here for a long. And then our momentum line angle has changed again to face right up. The buyers are now in control of the price again. So also an opportunity to enter positions on a close of a bar to see who's in control of that price, because this bar is going to change color until it's closed. Wherever it ends, that's the color it's going to stay. But yeah, if you were in a long position now, I would not be in a long position because of this momentum line, unless you're just bringing your stop a lot closer towards the price, because very often this could also just swing down. And we also haven't got multiple divergences over here. So you see previously over here, we had this bar, and this bar all giving us these divergence arrows and connected dotted lines. We only had that briefly over here on the left. So this over here was still showing this. So yeah, then I've got one more arrow over there. But from the look of this, because this momentum line is still coming right down like this, let's have a look at what the thing looks like. I didn't restart the strategy. Oh, that's not exactly how I would have envisioned, would like that to have been. So there we had a sell on that Fibonacci level. Now remember too that the strategy is not programmed for the Fibonacci levels. So if you want to be safe around levels like this and avoid a costly thing, you can either select long only, which will only enter long positions from that point, or you can just pause the strategy completely so that you're out of you're out of any positions around key levels. So interesting position right now where the price is on this chart. So we've got this optimized data series here with this indicator. There's a brick wall and there's the Fibonacci level. So it's going to one of these obviously is going to win around there. Looking below this, so below this 23.6, we've got a nice gap for the price too. So quite a big gap in this area for the price to go to. That's at least 140 odd ticks in price movement. where the price is, it's going to go pretty quickly. It's either going to go there pretty quickly, or it's going to come back to this one pretty quickly. So that is the, the range, 178 ticks. So we're going to probably find the price is going to fly any moment in this range. So we do have a Fibonacci level that's supporting the price going up. We also got a brick wall supporting the price going up. So it's probably going to come down. And again, because there's no strong Fibonacci level here, there's probably nothing stopping this price from really going down. Again, it's probably coming back to retest that 23.6. Let's look at it on another chart, on the 22 chart. Let's see what it looks like on there. This is the one that was in a sell position. So it did go below the 23.6, but now it looks like it's coming up above. So again, it's that brick wall. There's a brick wall over here. You see that red brick wall, that dotted thing. So looking at that is a brick wall as a Fibonacci level. Look what the indicator looks like. A little bit iffy here. Realistically, in a long position here, I would be very on my edge of my seat, really. Unless this momentum line really flattens out and starts coming down, gold bars, and the price closes below the 23.6. So this could just have been a little false breakout. So often they'll have, if they haven't got enough stops at a Fibonacci level, they'll go up a little bit higher to make sure they get their stops before they force that price down. So that kind of seems like what they are doing over there. So just looking at this chart, this is a slightly larger, this is the 12-12 chart that we have. I'll remove these drawing tools. And actually I won't, I'll just leave it like that. So this is where I'm thinking the price is going to go, at least in this area. And it's probably going to fly down a little bit further to at least close to the 61.8. Again, there's nothing stopping it. Forget about anything else. That is what is, these are the most important things to be looking out for. Again, my strategy is on pause. Okay, but not both of them. I've still got this strategy running here, you see. So here is the 22-22 strategy, which has had incredible results today, like really, really incredible results. Price is coming right up now to the 61.8. So this is probably where I would say, I'm happy to pause this, especially if you were trading on your live account. Oh, momentum line still facing down though. So yeah, you watch that momentum line and you watch for divergences. At the moment, the sellers are in control of this price. So there's still some room to move to that Fibonacci level. We haven't got divergences yet. So there's nothing really stopping this price at this moment. The only thing I would say is the 61.8 is very close. But as we know, the price could race to a level and then bounce up very fast to take out, to make sure people are not capturing the bottoms of the market moves. That's why you have the price come down, take out stops, price come down, take out stops, price come down, take out stops. I mean, they extremely seldom will just say, yeah, I'm just going to go down, because they'll just pull everybody with them, which they don't want. They want to take out stops. Otherwise, they can't feel their positions coming down. So that's why it is so terrible most of the time running a trading stock, because you're just being caught out. You know, imagine being in a sell position up here at the top, you know, being in a sell position, having a tight stop, and then you're out of the position and you miss out on this entire move coming down. I mean, that's what trading stops do. They're designed to basically screw you over. Okay, so we're at the 61.8. So if you were going to trade this now, and I mean, if you were looking at this, this is where I would say, you know what, I'll be very happy to pause the strategy over here. Okay, pause it before they flick this thing up, which they more than likely will do very, very quickly. You've probably got a much higher chance of catching that the bottom of that little run now than you know, if you wait a little bit longer. But yes, obviously we know before that there's still a chance they could be going down. I mean, there's nothing stopping them. I mean, there's a lot stopping them from taking the price down, but you know, you've captured a very, very good move over there. And you just got to accept that and go on. If you're going purely according to your shadow trading indicator, that's also a good way to look at it. We are in a situation here where the price is oversold. We at that 61.8, and look, that bounce, that's the first bar that's reversed was on that 61.8. That's the very first bar that reversed. So the price basically, once they knew they were going to break this 23.6, they just ran through it. They didn't even bother coming back to retest it again. They just said, we're going to suck this price down, run it all the way to the next Fibonacci level, and then reverse it. And that's exactly what they did over there. Sometimes they may even come very close to that level. So on other occasions, we've seen them bring the price just very, very close to that Fibonacci level and then reverse it. So if you're waiting for it to touch, you'll be sucked out a little bit. You'll miss out on it. Not always, obviously, as we've seen, but that is a good, yeah, it's a good little move to capture. Now, I don't know what's happening in the news, so I haven't been looking at that, but no matter what's happening in the news, you know, you're going to have the charts doing what they're doing. I mean, what happened on the chart? What happened at the news? Listen to me, I'm speaking. What happened on the news at this time of the day? Who cares what happened? The signal, the shadow trading indicator gave us a beautiful signal, no matter what the news, what's happening on the news. And you can go back any single day on the chart. The chart is going to give you the signals. No matter what the hell is happening on the news, the signals are going to be coming through. I suppose how far the price is going to go down might be a little bit discussed on the news, but you're looking at these signals, you just want to catch some of these moves. You don't have to catch them all. You just want to catch some good little moves and use these Fibonacci levels. You're not going to find a better tool on NinjaTrader that even comes remotely close to Fibonacci levels shadow trading. You will not find it at all. Just it will not exist. And if it is, it's hidden very well. Okay, what is the time? 10:23. How are you guys coping on your strategies?
I've been a step behind the market since about 9:45. I've fought back to just 500 red, but caught a couple of big moves. But I just seem to be just out of step with it, just like half a heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it doesn't pay to be analyzing the very, very latest data. Sometimes it does help just to stick with longer term data. I mean, sometimes it's amazing. You can give you incredible results. Other times you got to, you know, it's maybe a good idea to run optimizations on much larger periods of time and then have that strategy running on a chart and then still run your intraday, you know, optimization and then go and compare where the brick walls are, compare the Fibonacci levels, and then look what the indicator is telling you. So, you know, that's what's going to get you out of, what's going to keep you out of hot water. So I'm going to look at that beautiful little move from there, just coming from that Fibonacci level and back up again. You know, that's 116 ticks move up to the top of that one. Yes, we very likely would not have caught the top of that bar because that's when the buyers have just came into effect, but just shows you these bounces off these levels.
What was your 22 A and B settings, Jason?
Oh, okay, I'll go to the chart. It was 1040.
Jason, and then just confirming that was data you got from last week, right?
The data that I'm using?
Yeah, for the 22, the 1040.
Oh, okay. Now, I'm using the data from the 22nd of August to the 28th of September.
Okay, and the best settings was 1040 on a 22, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. And the reason why I chose those is because, hang on, is this it? Yeah, 20. I've gone and run other optimizations since then. Okay, I've got to go back to that. Yeah, let's let that run in the background. So here we go. The price is back at the 61.8. Let's look at what the shadow trading is giving us. It's showing us a divergence there. See, so we're seeing a divergence over here at this level. Momentum line flicking up. So that's another time when you see this divergence happen over here, that divergence will paint the instant, the tick that this bar closes. So when this bar closes, it's going to give you this divergence immediately. It's not delayed by 2 or 3 bars. It's giving it to you there. So that is also a way to look for entries where you're seeing divergences like that, and then you can go and run a trading stop, which you might only target 2 or 3 bars. So again, an absolute extremely powerful signal. And you've got the momentum line nicely away from price. You've got a strong Fibonacci level that the price has failed to break through, and a connected dotted line, which basically is the divergences of price. If you wanted to wait for the bars to turn green, you could do that too. Just enter on the low of the bar, but just bear in mind there's a chance it could just come down a little bit again. But look how this momentum line is going to suck this price up. So again, another perfect signal from the shadow trading, giving you that completely overbought, coming up a little bit, divergence at the bottom, momentum line facing up. You know, if there was no Fibonacci level in play here, I would be running this all the way up, So we'll see what the price does around there. Yeah, we've got a bit of a divergence arrow facing down, so there's a chance that this might go down for a bit. And look when that arrow painted. It painted the second that bar closed, and it's going to stay that way. It's not going to change. Momentum line is still facing up. So still a very high likelihood that this price is going to be going up. I've got to keep monitoring that momentum line. Coming to that 23.6, a beautiful strong showing of that momentum line. the price is moving a lot faster, if you notice, right by that 23.6. So look at that. It came right back to that 23.6 and literally bounced off that nicely. So again, if you were in a long position over there, if you were in a long position and you're seeing a divergence like that, probably a good idea to get out, especially because you've got a Fibonacci level there. It's not to say that it's definitely not going to go up. It's just that your percentage probability is decreasing, especially now that you've got a momentum line, shift in direction. I mean, it hasn't completely shifted. In fact, it's even going up now. But it's kind of leveled off a little bit. It's kind of now it's facing down again. So we discussed this before, but even if you just act on these arrows from the shadow trading, you're going to get a very high percentage of these trades in your favor. And you would only really act on those arrows if your momentum line is a very far distance from price. So like over there, it's not a very far distance from price. Okay, over here it is. So a lot more distance. And then you would have had those. If you're only chasing one bar, which is 22 ticks, you can have a very, very high percentage profitability on this. Especially if you're entering over there and your target's there. It's a bit closer to Fibonacci level, but you get the point of that. Entering using these, I mean, look, this signal, this one over here is probably one of the strongest ones because you've got a very strong divergence and you've got the momentum line far from price. That's a much higher probability entry. And that's basically gone up. Look how this trend is losing energy over here. See the momentum line starting to face downwards, even though the bars are green, that momentum line is facing down. So that just shows that this price is going to go down. And it's basically like reading the Bible, looking at this indicator. And that's probably the rub I'm talking. So I hope I don't get struck by lightning later.
Yeah. Are you still on the red hot?
Oh, yes, definitely.
I don't have a cappies, man.
Actually, you know what? I've also got my Captain Morgan here. So,
good.
Grab one of those.
You are on YouTube. Other brands are available.
What did you say there?
Said advertising. You are on YouTube. Other brands are available.
Yeah, there are other brands available. When it comes to Red Heart, and Captain Morgan, they're probably the best. See, got my captain. Oh shit! Look at that. There's my captain. I went big time this time. I went and got a leader instead of a 750.
Big boy drink.
That's it. Yeah. So yeah, it's taken a lot longer than I was envisioning to be running this group with you guys and running on some accounts. I guess I haven't traded the New York session for such a long time until literally the last few weeks, because at the moment, as you can imagine, I'm in Australia, and it's not very convenient for me to be trading at 12, 1, 2 in the morning. So I haven't been as comfortable going live on the US session, not because I know the tools, not because the tools, I don't think the tools work, because I know they work perfectly well, It's just that I wanted to trade it myself for a while with you guys. But doing what we're doing here, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be comfortable going live trading this, and I'll be doing that as well. So it's been a really good, getting back into the US trading hours, which I haven't done for a very long time. I've been trading the Asian session. But you're definitely getting a lot of extremely good signals, which happen all the time. I mean, these signals that you're looking at on the chart happen at all different times of the day. It's just that during the Asian session, this move won't be 20 minutes. It'll probably be like 3 hours. So I guess I'm just used to it being a little bit slower, and I can plan my entries and I can do other things. But these have been some extremely powerful moves, and quickly too. So you can definitely accomplish what you want to accomplish in a very quick period. So look there again, we had a buy arrow off that Fibonacci level. If you were targeting one bar, bam, you've hit it immediately, immediately. And even if you're trading it by one bar, you way into the profit already there. So there you've had so many incredible signals. You had one over there, and you had another one right in front of your eyes over there. And those are even just little scalping trades, and not even big trades. But they're 22, 44, 66 ticks. I mean, it's a lot of ticks. I don't have the strategies running because we've just been looking at this. But even on the strategies, if you look at what they're doing, okay, you're looking at what they're doing, there is a brick wall, you see. So even with running optimized settings, even if you got a strategy on pause on a sim account, and you're looking at the trades entering, and you're seeing the price fail at a brick wall and fail at a fib level, geez, man, it's basically given to you on a plate there. Now you got your fib level in play, you got the price failing to break through, and then you've got the price failing at a brick wall, coming right all the way down to the fib level again. Where was that? Even just trading to the fib level itself. Again, you might say, I'm not going to trade to the fib level. I'm going to trade at the close of the bar before the level. You might say that's 100. It's a 100 tick move. Yeah, you do have a slightly larger stop. So if you were going to take that position, you would definitely put your stop above the brick wall, above the previous candle, and more than likely above the fib. So to be very safe, I would probably put it at that brick wall. So a 90 tick stop with a 100 tick target type of thing. So a little bit more open with your stops and targets than just having a very tight stop. Look at the price of the 23.6. Now, because it's broken through this brick wall and hit this level, I wouldn't be too confident in keeping this, doing a short over here. I'll be less confident with that. Looking at the shadow trading indicator, bam, we do have a red arrow on that bar, but look at the momentum line there. The momentum line is with the price. So basically what happened there, now remember on the far right of the chart is exactly where the momentum line was. So it doesn't matter where the momentum line goes after the fact. It's on the far right of the chart that we're looking at it. Remember, it's a free moving line. It's not attached to the bar price. So we basically had the signal come back here. So we can go back to how the signal developed, which is back here. Signal developed, you're getting the momentum line fly up. Look how the momentum line is with the price. Coming back down, which it did earlier, it came back down. Momentum line is a lot closer to the price. We had this move coming all the way down. There was that shadow trading setup where it was showing us the next fib level, momentum line facing upwards, starting to show us that this is where there's a huge, look at the huge deviation in the price from the momentum line, telling us we've got divergences over there, telling us that this price is going up. Bit of a dip over there. We had a bit of a dip in that momentum line facing downwards. See how it changed direction. Even before the price really dropped, even before the price really came down, crashing down, we actually had the momentum line change its angle, starting to come down. So looking at that, you could get out of a long position, even though the bars are green, because the momentum line is starting to show weakness in the trend. And then what ultimately happens is it started coming down. Momentum line's a lot closer to price again, a switch up. And even there, look at that beautiful signal over there. So even over there, the price came down, but the momentum line stayed up. So that was like a little stop hunting exercise. So all they did was they know they're going to push the price up. They know they're going to push the price up. And the momentum line is saying that. But they just coming down to take out some stops. Yeah, it's big stops though, because it's 57 ticks. But anywhere in this range, they'll be taking out stops. Whatever your stop is, if it's 20 ticks, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever, you're out. It's game over on that trade. Momentum line still facing up. They've taken out enough stops to fuel their positions. They're running this up. There you've got your first hint that this is going to fail at that price. You've got your red arrow, which happened immediately, and momentum line, look at that, change position. Again, we had an incredible bounce off that. So that's the 22.22. Let's have a look at the 12.12. So this is the strategy setting still active. I haven't paused it. I mean, I have paused it. This hasn't been running. But if the strategy was in a position now, it'll be in a sell position. You see back over here. That is the last. So we closed it over there. We closed the strategy over here. Since then, the price actually broke through to the next 61.9. So if you didn't pause the strategy at this Fibonacci level, you definitely would have paused it at this level, especially with these multiple tests over here. So like we said earlier, yes, you are giving up some positions and a lot of ticks. I mean, that's over 200 ticks. But, most people will be very happy capturing that move coming down. And now we've basically got the price bouncing between two strong Fibonacci levels. That's why it hasn't had any real clear direction yet. Looking at our shadow trading, so this is the smaller bar. So you're going to get a lot less. I wouldn't say accurate, but a lot less. You're getting a lot more signals on here. A lot more signals. So like even over there, if you look at this red arrow, this tomato over here, yes, the momentum line is above the price, and the momentum line is very close to the price. That's why there was a little breakdown. But it's only when this momentum line drops considerably below the price, like that over there, and the bars are gold. Yeah. So, even over there, you forewarned that there's a chance that this is going to be reversing. So even though you've got gold bars, the price is kind of staying here. You've definitely got your first arrow. You've got your momentum line facing up. Price came back down, but look at that. It came and formed a divergence over there. Momentum line facing up. It's still below the price though, the momentum line. So, so a little bit more risky in the sense of acting on signals like this, but they still have not got bad They still do not have any, the risk reward is still pretty good on these. Even just acting on these very arrows. What else do we, and this is on any bar size. If you want to go to a, so I like looking at the 2266. I really like this bar size. I mean, it's just something that I like to look at. It gives you some really incredible entry opportunities. So looking at divergences, and again, the shadow trading is still telling you, it's still giving you these signals, you see. So when the price is around strong levels, I haven't got the Fibonacci level on here, but you can be buying when there's a confirmed breakout. So the price is going to travel 22 ticks, 22 ticks, 22, 22, 22, 22, always a 22, but a reversal bar is 66 ticks. And it's going to go 22, 22, 22, and then a reversal 66, and then so on and so forth. So on situations like this, where you've got the momentum line facing up and you've got divergences, you could enter on that break of that bar. So as soon as that bar goes and forms, breaks upwards, 66 ticks, it's going to form a new bar. That could be your entry location. So you could decide that you're only going to enter once you've got a confirmed breakout of a bar, and you might trade that 2 or 3 bars up. And this could be a 16. You could just do it in increments of this. So like this could be an 1133. It could be a, I don't know, a 927. So basically in 3 increments. So you can see 2266 is 3 bars. So basically 3 bars the size. If you want to go a 20 bar, it's got to be a 20 and a 60. Just showing you these little things. Now, obviously you're not going to get it absolutely perfect every time. Like that, you had a bar break down and you'll be stopped out. So your stop's got to be a bar, basically. You see? So you enter on that bar of that confirmed breakout. You can either move your bar to break even, which would have taken you out at break even. You can have a trailing stop set up if you want to use a trailing stop on this, and then have that. But in this case, yeah, I mean, this was literally the very first or the second time the signal came on the shadow trading. So there we go. We've got momentum line facing up. We've got a bar broken up. That's the very first bar after that breakout, which is over there. Strong momentum line up showing. You enter, you would have got your 22 ticks, even if you're chasing 1 bar. And if you had a trailing stop, you would have been stopped out at break even, worst case on that one. Or wait for the next one, or even take the next one. There's the next signal. You got a green bar, which is even more powerful because the buyers are in control of price. You've had a break up, strong momentum line facing up, bam, you enter your position and then run that up until it breaks again. That could be or target 3 bars. That's still 3 bars is 66 ticks. And then so on and so forth. So these type of things are definitely there. They're definitely there. And look, on most of them, when you got a shadow trading indicator giving you such a strong signal like this, most of these entries are going to give you 2 or 3 bars in that direction. And they've actually done that on these bottom ones. Look at this. Most of these bars have given you 20, 40, 60 ticks. That's the one entry. Then the next one over here, a break up again, exactly the same thing. It's entered, another, whatever you're chasing, 60 odd ticks. Over here, let's look at the last one. So look at the last signal. So remember, this is where the momentum line is at the breakdown. Okay. So that's another bar that it entered. So yeah, you would have entered over there. It looks extremely promising, but on this one here, it looks like you would have been stopped out. You see, that one stopped out. So you've got a few trades in play over there already. You've already had some targets, so you had a loser position there if you were following that strictly. If you were strictly following that, you would have had a losing position. And now you're watching again. But look at this momentum line. So I wouldn't really be jumping into long positions at this time anytime soon, because this momentum line is showing a total drop. And look at this. So even though we're at the 60% Fibonacci level right now, where the price has dropped considerably recently, we kind of have a momentum line that's facing down. So this could be saying probably this time, not so much. This is going to bounce up again. So always look at your momentum line. So before, if you look earlier at the chart, if you look at where the momentum line is now, okay, compared to where the momentum line was earlier, when we were watching the chart at that Fibonacci level, it was way above, you see? So, and this, if you remember when we were watching this, the momentum line was so much above the price. But this time, when it's come to that Fibonacci level, it seems to be a little bit closer, not as high as it was before. Still a few arrows in play there to say, you know, that is happening. So what did where's that chart I had up? The 66, was it over here? No, it was over there. Again, if you were purely looking at this, on this specific bar size, now remember, every bar size is going to give you a different look at the market. Now, this is a much bigger bar size, so it's going to give you a much larger perspective of an overall trend. So just by looking at a few different bar sizes with your indicators on, you can hunt out those really good entries. And even if you took this entry over here, you still would have gone up 2 bars, which would have been, you know, your 44 tick move. But again, this momentum line is definitely showing that it's dropping. See how it's dropping considerably? It's definitely dropping. It's dropping. The height of it is definitely dropping. But again, we've looked like we've consolidated above this 61.8. So, you know, we're in kind of a no man's land at the moment where it's just bouncing between these 2 fib levels. So we haven't done optimizations and anything on this call because we've had the strategy just perform exceptionally well, and we're using previous data anyway to do the optimization. So it's not like we're doing active optimization on the call itself. Why is this thing not clicking? So you'll notice too that the momentum line, there used to be a red line on the chart on the left. I've just removed that on the new assembly. If you want to, if you're still not very familiar on how to use this indicator, notice how the momentum line moves according to how you move the chart. If you want to make sure that you've got it close to where it should be, you can always go and open up what's that thing called? An output window, NinjaScript output. Okay. And when you open up an output window, it's going to tell you how many bars you have on your chart. So there are bars visible. Now, if I go and move this, let's just put this on top. If I go and move this, it's going to change those bars on the chart. So as long as you have between, you know, 100 and so like 105 and 125 around this area here, it's positioned correctly. So you only have to do that once, look at the bars, look at the chart, and then it's there. But even if you don't look at this, at the output, all you have to do is scroll back on the chart and look at how the previous signals have looked. If you're seeing the previous signals have displayed perfectly, then you've got the right setting on your indicator. And as you can see, they did. See, notice now how the momentum line is with the price, and we kind of are just getting green and gold. This is not a time to be like, chasing a long target. If you are going to be scalping, it'll just be bar to bar with a 50% risk reward, 50% probability, I would say too. If you were going to enter a long position, put a limit order over there. Not that I'm going to do that now. But just because the momentum line's facing down, it could go anyway. The price is just floating around now. So you're not really making any educated decisions right now, entering positions. It's kind of a complete 50-50 type of a thing, where you could be stopped out. So if you want to put a 30 target and a 30 stop, you can certainly do that around this area and just take those entries around, levels like that. Why is my computer freaking internet bullshit? What's happened here? I've just had a little bit of a lag. I don't know what from. I've got internet, so I don't know what that is. Let's see. Gotta try and reconnect. Okay, so it looks like I've just got a drop to my remote server. I don't know why, to my VPS. So I'll end the call there, and it's already 11 o'clock anyway, so we'll leave it there. Hey guys, I hope you got a lot out of the session, and we'll do the same thing tomorrow night.
Jason, thanks very much.
Again, Jason.
Okay, guys. Eduardo, how did you go on your session? Okay, you might just have stepped away for a moment. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you.